The terror pumpkin. Imagine finding a pumpkin in the middle of the night that seems alive. What if I told you that inside it lies something that should never have been released? Something dark, evil, that has waited for centuries until someone naive set it free? 3 young people made the worst decision of their lives on that Halloween night. What they found inside that pumpkin was something no one would ever forget. But here's the question: what if it were you? Would you have the courage to continue? It was the eve of Halloween, and the small town of Hollow Creek was engulfed by the eerie atmosphere of the scariest night of the year. The streets were decorated, children in costumes ran around, and jack-o'-lanterns illuminated every corner. But there was an ancient legend that few dared to mention. They said that if anyone found a pumpkin in the forbidden field on Halloween night, they should never bring it home. 3 teenagers, Lucas, Marina, and Igor, ignored the warning. In the middle of the abandoned pumpkin patch, there it was, a huge, macabre-looking pumpkin with cracks that seemed to form a twisted face. Without a second thought, they decided to take it. Little did they know that, by doing so, they were awakening something far worse than any nightmare. Lucas was the leader of the group, always defiant and fearless. Marina, the most skeptical, enjoyed testing her limits. Igor, on the other hand, hesitated but never wanted to be called a coward. The forbidden field lay on the outskirts of town, a forgotten place surrounded by dry trees and an eerie silence. It was said that many years ago, a cursed farmer buried a pumpkin there containing the spirit of something inhuman. When they got home, they placed the pumpkin in the center of the living room. The air felt heavier, shadows moved unnaturally, and a strange smell began to fill the room. Then, Lucas took out a pocket knife and made a cut into the hard shell. The first cut released a black, viscous liquid with a putrid smell. Marina immediately backed away, feeling nauseous. Igor's eyes widened, trembling. But Lucas, fearless, opened the pumpkin even further. That's when something inside it moved. Small glowing eyes emerged from the dark interior, staring at them. The silence was broken by a guttural voice that echoed through the room. "You have freed me." The black liquid began to spread across the floor, rising as if it had a life of its own. Panic seized the group. The lights flickered. The air turned icy. The thing inside the pumpkin began to emerge, slowly. It was a deformed figure, a cadaverous face twisted with sharp teeth and hollow eyes. Marina screamed, Igor stumbled backward, and Lucas remained frozen, as if hypnotized. The creature raised a skeletal hand and pointed at him. Finally, a new host. One by one, the 3 felt a weight pressing on their minds, voices whispering in their ears, promising power and terror. Lucas fell to his knees, clutching his head, his breathing becoming irregular. Marina tried to pull him away, but it was as if an invisible force held him in place. The black liquid began to crawl toward his feet. "Run," he murmured, his voice blending with another, deeper, older one. Igor pulled Marina and ran out the door, but before leaving, they saw something horrifying. Lucas lifted his head, his eyes now glowing like those of the creature. "Now, I see everything." Outside, Marina and Igor heard Lucas's distorted screams. The wind howled. The shadows in the garden stretched as if something was coming after them. They tried to call for help, but their phones didn't work. The town was eerily silent. Turning back to the house, they realized the door was now wide open, gaping like the mouth of a monster. Lucas stood there, motionless. But something about him had changed. "You can't run. It's already part of you too." Marina grabbed an old spellbook her grandmother kept. Frantically flipping through the pages, she found something about trapped spirits. There was a way to seal the entity again, but it required a sacrifice. Igor looked at Marina, knowing what that meant. "I won't leave him like this." But before they could act, Lucas moved supernaturally, appearing on the other side of the room. His face contorted, as if something was trying to rip through his skin. It's too late. The creature inside Lucas began to fully emerge. His body was overtaken by shadows that writhed like tentacles. The ground shook. Marina screamed Lucas's name, trying to reach him, but he only smiled in a disturbing way. Igor grabbed a dagger from the book and drove it into the ground around the pumpkin, attempting to complete the ritual. But time was running out. A blinding flash filled the room. The pumpkin cracked, screams echoed, and the air became unbearable. When the light faded, Lucas was lying on the floor, unconscious. The pumpkin was gone. Everything seemed to have returned to normal. Marina and Igor exchanged relieved glances. But then, Lucas opened his eyes. They were as black as night. This is just the beginning. Now I ask you, if you were there, would you have had the courage to carve the pumpkin? Was the evil truly sealed? Or is something still lurking, waiting for its next victim? If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the channel for more dark mysteries. And never look at a pumpkin the same way again.
Have you ever experienced something supernatural, terrifying, or unexplainable? Your story can come to life and be told here. I want to hear your darkest, most chilling and mysterious tale. Leave everyone curious, shivering, and questioning what really happened. Share your scariest experiences and moments of pure terror. Join our dark community. This is the place for you. Subscribe to the channel now and share your horror story. Tag your bravest friends and send your story now. Fear is real. And I'm waiting for you.